at the central level also. And joining me today is a panel of very good guests from industry. We are going to focus on the economy, infrastructure, and the larger economic issues in the state. Mr. K. Ravi, President of the FKCCI, Narendra Pani, Political Analyst and Professor at the National Institute of Advanced Studies, Rajesh Mehta, Executive Chairman of Rajesh Exports, and J.C. Sharma, Vice Chairman and MD of Sobha Limited. I'm going to begin this with a rapid-fire list of questions, and I'll come to you, Mr. Sharma, first. And I'm not asking you to predict the election. We'll leave that to the professionals. But I ask you about your number one priority that you are looking forward to from the new government, whoever it may be, in terms of Karnataka, in terms of its economy and its growth. Mr. Sharma.
See, Bangalore has been the fastest growing city of India, and maybe amongst the fastest growing city of the world. The way the IT services sector has grown, along with that, the general complaint what we see is the infrastructure has not taken up along with the growth. And this is one issue which is bothering the Bangaloreans and which is bothering the most of the people who come to Karnataka. So I think the most critical and important issue should be that whatever infrastructure related issues which are there in the public domain, the new government, whichever it comes, it will take care of that, so that the growth of Bangalore, the growth of Karnataka, and the growth of India that way can be sustained.
Rajesh ji, your number one priority, demand or expectation from the new government?
Well, Bangalore, as he rightly said, is a city which is watched by the world. I would suggest that whichever government comes in, whether it's the same government or whether it's the new government or any other party's government, they should focus on brand Bangalore in building Bangalore into a truly global city. Because this is one city in India which has a potential to match the global cities. Maybe it's like New York or London or Paris or Tokyo, or maybe Hong Kong. So Bangalore can be the global brand for India. I'm not telling Mumbai can't be or Delhi can't be. But
in fact, in some ways, it already is.
Absolutely. So it can become still a city which is counted among the top 5 or top 4 of the world. Primarily because of its climate, because of its public, and because of the IT and the other developed outlook what this city has, compared to many other cities of Asia, Southeast Asia especially, or maybe of India. So I would suggest that the government should focus on making Bangalore a truly global city.
A truly global city, that's the second view. Mr. Pani, your first key expectation from whoever comes and is declared the winner on the 15th of May.
My main expectation is there must be greater realism about Bangalore.
Okay.
The kind of investments that have been made in Bangalore have raised the cost of living here to a point where you're not becoming much less competitive in the world. And that's having its impact on the city, and we're not looking at it. The government, the current government, had tried to diversify outside Bangalore, but given the general rhetoric about Bangalore, they did not make it very public. But there were new centers developed, particularly around Tumkur, which could share the same airport. There were other possibilities. So the main expectation would be that the new government, whichever party it is, takes a more realistic estimate, a realistic picture of what the Karnataka economy is, and recognizes that you're looking at growth for the state as a whole and not for just one city.
Absolutely, Ms. Pani. Mr. Ravi, industry and your chamber has the pulse on the ground, and therefore from a wider basket of industry, and we know Bengaluru and Karnataka is not just about IT. There is so much more that happens in this state, and sometimes that message gets lost. But nevertheless, as an industry representative, what would you tell our viewers at this stage?
As a trade and representative body, what has happened, IT has more or less overshadowed the manufacturing economy, or whatever you call, because today 40% of the exports of IT comes from Karnataka. I, for one, feel that a lot of focus should be given, particularly on the industrial side, of developing the industrial estates. Today, they are not in the global standards. When we have the people, investors coming from all over the world, our industrial estates are not that well advanced, number one. Number two, we also have the problem of traffic. This is another, and power. and water. Now, power, the cost of power is very high. No, I think somewhere along the line, the efficiencies of these departments, whether it is water, power, these things have to be improved. Otherwise, we are going to pay a heavy price, and the cost of production, make in India, will not be achievable. So that is another area where I feel, and more than anything is the infrastructure, which is really taking a lot of. The government should not only have a special purpose vehicle, I would say it should be answerable. I mean, they should be reporting only to the chief minister, and he should drive the infrastructure, the traffic. Otherwise, Bangalore will stagnate.
Absolutely, and I think viewers, if you've heard this first round, there is a common theme to it, and Mr. Pani and Mr. Ravi basically complemented each other's arguments. He spoke about the cost of living of individuals. Mr. Ravi spoke about the cost of doing business for corporations, and ultimately both are complementary to each other. I want to come back to you, Mr. Sharma. The point that he made about traffic, and we were just discussing about the automobile consumption statistics in Bengaluru and how it is probably the number one already. While this is good for industry, for margins, for earnings growth, and our channel focuses on it, at sometimes you wonder how will, if you remain gridlocked, where will you go?
That's the greater issue. Let us agree and accept Indians have become an aspirational society. And Indians are also now consumption driven. They would like to enjoy whatever they are earning at an early stage of their life. And they are more cautious and conscious as well. Now they are putting more and more demand on the politicians to ensure that their expectations keep coming to their expectations. Same thing applies to the rural population. Whatever the government has been doing for the farmers or for the rural population, they are not happy. They want them to do more. So this Dil Mange More kind of a syndrome, it in a way good, which has taken our economy to the fastest growing economy in the world, which also we should be proud of, prima facie.